Just wait a few seconds to let some people join. I see lots of people coming in now. Okay, so hi everybody, welcome to today's webinar, Scaling Your Business with Automation in partnership with HubSpot for Startups. My name's Norette Ferns, I'm the online community coordinator at CodeBase and I'll be supporting the event today. And we're delighted to have Anna Gordon, who's the partnership manager for HubSpot for Startups UKI here today to talk to us about automation. So I just have a couple of housekeeping things to go over before we start. First thing is that we have a code of conduct at CodeBase that we ask everybody to agree to take part in all our activities, including our online events. So I've just popped the link to the code of conduct in the chat there for everybody to see. If for any reason the call drops out, just please come back in on the link that was in the email. Don't expect it to happen, but you never know. We do have time for a Q&A at the end with Anna. So if you have any questions as we go along, please just put them in the Q&A function in Zoom. And you can also use the chat as we go through, but please keep the questions in the Q&A function. And it would be great in the chat if you could tell us where you're joining us from today. I'm joining from the north of Scotland in Inverness, in our lovely CodeBase hub there. And we do have closed captions on today as well, so you can turn them on if you'd like to do so. So that's all from me. I'm delighted to pass over to Anna and look forward to the presentation. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you so much, Norette, and thank you everyone for joining. If you do want to, as Norette said, pop in where you're joining from. Personally, I'm based in Dublin in Ireland, and it's uncharacteristically sunny today, so I've got the fan going and everything, which is unusual in Dublin. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the session on scaling your business with automation and AI. So just to give you a little overview of what we'll be discussing today. So a little bit on the benefits of automation and AI and tips on how to use them correctly. And they'll be splitting it out between the sales and the marketing piece. So on the sales side, it will be talking about some common tactics for using sales automation. And then I'll also be going into one of our new HubSpot AI tools, ChatSpot, and as well as I'll go into marketing and we'll be covering workflows and then how this relates to a new HubSpot tool called Content Assistant. So I did envision this as an automation workshop, but we do have a couple of new HubSpot AI tools out, ChatSpot and Content Assistant. So that all the buzz around ChatGPT, I thought it'd be useful to give a bit of an overview of them as well. And just to note, in order to make this more practical rather than theoretical, I will be using screenshots and GIFs and short demos of the HubSpot tools. But even if you're not using HubSpot, you should think of this really as a strategy that you can apply for future direction of your business, or if you're using other CRM or AI tools. So yeah, as I said, I'm Anna. I'm based in Dublin. I cover HubSpot for Startups for UK and Ireland. And my goal is really to help startups grow better with the right knowledge, tools, and connections needed to scale. Just to give you a little bit of an insight into what HubSpot for Startups is as well, before I kick off the main content of today. So we do offer educational resources and tailored training. So we have a huge amount of HubSpot for Startups resources and regularly scheduled webinars. And then for our top partners that we work very closely with, such as CodeBase, we do have these kind of customized education sessions based on topics that are important to the community. As well as that, we have an integrated platform for entrepreneurs. So we do have a large app marketplace with over 1,000 integrations. And if you do want to build an app natively with HubSpot, there's also the possibility to apply to be part of our app partner program for distribution opportunities. And last but not least, we have professional software entrepreneur pricing. So if you are part of CodeBase or one of our approved partners, you could be eligible for a discount of 30 to 90% off HubSpot. And I'll just leave that QR code there for a second, but if you haven't already applied, it'd be great to apply for HubSpot for Startups. You can just start using the free version of the tools, and then that way as well, you can try out some of the prompts I'll be showing you from our AI tools as well, such as within ChatSpot. So So first of all, this slide is skipping ahead. I know, again, I think we're a slightly smaller group today, but would love to see if I'll just leave this up for a second. So do you currently use any AI tools or automation tools? So this could be any sales or marketing tools, or if you've tried out any of the newer or older AI tools in the market. So I'll give about just 30 seconds and then answers might trickle in as you think about this. So I'll just pause for a few. I'll just keep going. If you do think of things, Norette, when you work to marketing, yeah, automation definitely can help a lot. Okay, we'll move on anyway. So if you're not already using them, or if you're thinking about adopting these tools, why should you use automation and AI? First of all, they'll really help you scale the impact of your team by helping you complete routine manual tasks. So essentially, say for both salespeople and marketing people, but focusing on sales as an example, I think there are statistics that the amount of admin that sales spend on, logging things, doing all these really routine administrative tasks rather than focusing their time on actually selling. So making you as efficient as possible and really taking out those manual things, reducing margin of error / delays. So automating yourself out of some of those errors can lead to better, customer satisfaction. Freeing up your team to focus on the customer and make strategic decisions. So overall, really being able to increase efficiency, productivity, and effectiveness as a startup. I do know this is probably more of a startup audience, but there could be various people in the audience. But overall, automation and AI can really level that playing field for startups to enable you to better even more easily compete with larger businesses by really increasing that efficiency, even if you have that kind of smaller team. So a few tips on how to use, I'll be going into some of this in more granular detail, but a few initial tips on how to use them correctly. I think sometimes people get very excited about automation AI and start to do things, but just a few tips on how to kind of strategically think about it. So on the sales side, I think it's really important, rather than starting to just, especially if you're a smaller team, starting to just automate left, right, and center. Really understanding your sales process first and understanding that before automating it. So there are some resources I can share with Norette afterwards. When we talk about your sales process, that's really one of the key steps in that sales process between, if you're a B2B company, between that kind of discovery stage, really assessing that with prospects to when they, potentially purchase, and then it's closed won or closed lost. And you can automate within that process for different facets, but really, understanding that before just going ahead and automating it, because then that could lead to, mistakes, or it might not be the most efficient use of your time. So for marketing, I'll go into marketing in a bit more detail later, but really leveraging AI tools specifically to supplement your existing content strategies and automate a wide range of tasks. So it's not meant to, the key word here is supplement rather than replace. So some of these AI tools can be great for things like idea generation, etc. But really to put your own creative spin on it and just strategically think about it as a team. Then they're not going to replace everything, but it will be a very helpful and time-saving exercise. And not knowing that not everything should be automated. So just, starting small. As I said, so start small, test, see what works, what doesn't. Is there certain bottlenecks in your sales process you can fix the automation, or is there certain forms of content you want to try out, or certain workflows in marketing automation? And then, it can take time to build out some of these things. So really testing that, tracking your outcomes, what was the ROI on that, and then being able to rescale that and ultimately save you a lot of time. With AI tools, again, it's really meant to be that supplementing it rather than replacing it. So be sure to put your own spin on it and personalize that content as well. We know that Google will penalize low quality content. So if it's completely AI generated, then it's going to pick that up as low quality content and penalize you for SEO. And last but not least, choose systems and tools that are easy to use and well reviewed. So as I said, I'll be showing you some of the HubSpot tools. You can apply this to other tools and strategies you might be using. So a few of the benefits of AI and automation in sales. So I've gone into the why, but a few more kind of benefits. So they really increase the productivity and performance of your sales team, improve the accuracy and accelerates your sales process, really ensures your sales leads don't fall through the cracks. So say, especially if you're your small team of maybe 5 to 10 people, and you want to be able to have a really quick response time if someone, submits a demo request form on your website, being able to automate things like that, make sure that you really reach out to those hot leads at the right time. You can really streamline the quality of your sales tasks, reducing response time, which can increase customer satisfaction, really keeping sales data consistent across your sales organization. And as I already kind of mentioned before, allowing efficient use of otherwise scarce resources like a small sales team or also a smaller budget. So I'll go into sales automation a bit before going into marketing automation and AI. So a few ideas of ways to use automation in sales. So you can use automation, for example, for logging, tracking, and enriching data automatically. So if you do use a CRM or you're planning on using one in the future, rather than manually adding contacts to a CRM or trying to track things in Google Sheets and Excel files, really having that information all in one system and it's just automatically logged. You don't have to do anything. And also knowing who's opening your emails and things like that. So say, for example, you can set up automations. I'll show you a screenshot of this in a few moments, but so that someone just viewed our pricing page. So I'm going to call them straight away because that's a hot lead. Or just setting all those internal automations. Also automating outreach and follow-up. So when it does come to, again, if you're a smaller team, using automation to make that outreach more efficient with things like sequences, which I'll go into in a minute. When we talked about sales process earlier, really being able to automate that sales pipeline through deal pipeline automation and automatic deal rotation. And then last but not least, setting up things like reminders, say if a deal has gone stale, or also task reminders as well. So just to give you an idea of what some of this looks like live as well. So when we talk about automatically logging activity, this is again a screenshot from HubSpot, but is applicable to other CRMs as well. Being able to automatically log that to your CRM and really make the most efficient use of your time that way. Being able to know if someone has viewed your pricing page, or if, for example, you are fundraising at the moment and you sent a pitch deck to an investor, knowing if they open that content and being able to have that. Or you can send things like for the pricing page notification, you could set up an automation that an email automatically goes to a sales rep to say, hey, this person has viewed your pricing page. It's a good time to reach out. So when we talk about sequences, so as I said, sequences, we'll talk about workflows a bit later on. Sequences are more of a sales automation tool, whereas workflows are more of an internal and external kind of marketing automation tool. So sequences can be designed for every common situation in the sales pipeline. So for that initial outreach stage, say if you're a B2B fintech company and you're reaching out to banks, and you're always saying the same thing when you reach out to them because you know your buyer persona really well. So you could craft a really great kind of initial outreach sequence. Or if equally after a pitch meeting with investors, you're always sending the same a similar email that you might personalize per investor, but you might want to create kind of a follow-up sequence for that. So can make it really easy to I think I have another one here. To automate that outreach, automate that follow-up, again giving time back to you as a startup, back to your business. Another one as well, when I talked about deal pipeline automation earlier, So I'll go into marketing automation in terms of external workflows, but marketing automation can also be used for internal workflows as well. I might actually just show you that live in a bit because it'll be easier to showcase. So I will go into, I'm just going to share my screen now in a sec. But first of all, to give you a bit of an insight into ChatSpot. So as I said, I kind of envision this as more of a automation workshop, but because of all these new AI tools coming out, and I know I've been using ChatGPT a lot, I'm sure same as a lot of people to test a few things and see what it's capable of. But HubSpot has come out with a couple of new AI tools lately, in the last couple of months that I wanted to show you. So worth noting as well that I showed you some of the automation within HubSpot. HubSpot already had some AI tools, existing ones such as like predictive lead scoring, automatic call recording and transcriptions, SEO suggestions and things like that. But we recently came out with ChatSpot and Content Assistant. It is worth noting as well that ChatSpot is in a public alpha stage, so it is currently free, and Content Assistant is in a private beta stage. So they are very new tools, just to preface it with that. So they are subject to change and errors and everything like that, because they are in this kind of this testing phase. So to give you a little bit of an insight into this, I'm sure everyone's hearing of the term generative AI a lot as well. So where does HubSpot sit in this kind of age of generative AI? So the challenge is that a CRM requires, a customer relationship management platform requires expertise. You have to be familiar with the data, know how it works and how to find what you need. And you can go through, multiple steps trying to play around with the platform, trying to search contacts, trying to create reports, etc. Whereas the solution here is enter ChatSpot. So this is our AI chatbot that shows us the days of searching and filtering for information are nearly behind us. So again, rather than having to take 10 steps to do something in a CRM, really having this automated chatbot assistant to help you reduce the number of steps there and really overall increase your efficiency. So where is this now? So with ChatSpot, and I will be showing you it live just to give you an idea, there is a little GIF there that shows you image generation. But essentially with this generative AI, you can create text and image creation, which is integrated into HubSpot. You can research and add data to HubSpot, such as like adding contact records and company records into HubSpot, and then access, it's all integrated to your HubSpot data. So having access to that HubSpot data, say for things like spinning up reports or searching and filtering for information. So a few ways that you could use ChatSpot with HubSpot. So some ways that ChatSpot works are, for example, so I showed you some of those, like how you can use sequences to draft all those emails and stuff like that, but really you can use both ChatSpot and Content Assistant to automate that for you. So for example, you can use ChatSpot to create follow-up emails. So say if it's draft a follow-up email to this investor, you can use it for quick status updates. So again, you're not, rather than you taking 10 steps or 5 steps, using all that time to find that, ChatSpot will find that for you. So say, for example, how many contacts do I have assigned to me? Lead management. So adding that new, if you're not emailing them already and they're not automatically being added, you can use ChatSpot to quickly add contacts to HubSpot. You can use it for prospecting, so searching for companies in a specific region, industry, and company size. For reporting, so say, for example, showing if you want to see a quarterly summary of web visits for last year. And then also for things like forecasting. So, quick updates like that, like list the deals closing this month with stage and forecasted revenue. And then you could turn that into a report. So again, just increasing your overall efficiency. Okay, we'll go in. Oh, my slides are going mental. So we'll go in. I'll just stop. Just switch gears here for a minute. So this is ChatSpot. As I said, it is in alpha, so bear with me if something breaks. But we'll do there is a few prompts here, and then I'll do a few just messages as well. So as you can see here, these are a few common prompts that you can use in HubSpot. So same as ChatGPT, and same with like some of the marketing AI tools I'll be showing you. This is all about prompts. So the more detail you add, the more specific you are, the better quality answer you're going to get. So we're going to do a few of the use cases I use there. So add a contact and follow up. So say, for example, I think I'm already in there, so I'll use one of my teammates and follow up in 4 days. So say if you want to add that contact. So we'll see if it's so you can just add there. So you can see there, you can view in HubSpot, that'll automatically be added. So they've already added that. And you can also add a note as well. So say if you want to add any more context on that. We could also do a couple start here. If you want to do quick, so that's the beauty of it, it's adding that. If you have the HubSpot CRM, even if you have the free version, whatever version you have, it'll automatically add that. So it's supplementing your existing data. You can also do things like company research. So company domains, say if we're going to research HubSpot. So it gives you information on companies as well. You could also research specific companies in your industry. Another one we might do, keyword data. Recently got added. So if we do find search phrase or question based on a keyword, so pizza, if we do that, you can get keywords related to pizza. We also have one for funding data. So say if maybe this is more from an investor use case, or if you're researching investors you want to go for. This is a Irish unicorn. So I'm going to use this example. Great. So there's a bunch of prompts there. So if you do want to start, again, you can just use a free version of HubSpot and download ChatSpot and start uploading data to your CRM if you do want to try this out. You don't have to use the prompts. These are just some common examples. But say if you do want to just use this messaging one here. So stop one here, draft email to about ChatSpot AI and how, see if this works, it can improve your efficiency as a startup. Yeah, so that's an email there. I'll show you Content Assistant in a second, but you can then just copy that into a sequence or make a series of these and then very quickly create a sequence. You can also use, I'll just show you one more before I jump out of this. And you can also, as I said, this is available for free at the moment. So you can try it out yourself. I might do a blog one as well. So impact of Gen AI on Instagram marketing. Just give that a sec. Yeah, so that one took a little bit longer, but there you go. So there is a blog post as well, and you can see you can add this to your HubSpot or save it as a Google Doc, or create audio out of it. So yeah, we'll go in to just go back there. But yeah, essentially is ChatSpot. So I said all of this overall sales automation, but also these new tools that are coming out, really overall trying to increase your efficiency and effectiveness as a startup. So we will go into, we're almost like 25 past now, we'll go into a bit on maximizing your marketing efficiency now. So we'll be going into a little bit on workflows and then also on Content Assistant, which is HubSpot's AI marketing tool, again, in beta. So when we talk about maximizing your marketing efficiency, so just to give a bit of a difference between marketing automation and AI in marketing. So marketing automation is software designed to help marketers automate repetitive tasks. This can be both internally and externally. Whereas AI is really a technology that applies advanced analysis and logic-based techniques to interpret events, support and automate decisions, and take actions. That is a Gartner one. So as I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about workflows, and then we'll go into leveraging content or leveraging AI in your content strategy. So when we talk about workflows, so I went into sequences a bit there. Sequence is very much a automated sales tool. So it's a better fit when there is maybe more of a one-to-one relationship has already been established between a prospect and a sales rep. The content of the communication is really targeted for that specific buyer persona. And then as well as that, a reply to an email, if the prospect, say if it's like a 5-step sequence, if the prospect replies or if they book a meeting, then that should stop or alter what the next step is. Whereas for workflows, is typically more of a marketing tool, and it's a better fit when you're sending stylized or image-rich emails. The action can be triggered automatically. Instant follow-up is required, and a salesperson hasn't yet been assigned to a contact, so it's more a marketing thing, and you expect a large number of contacts being sent through this flow. So you can use workflows both for external channels and also for internal channels. So a few common kind of internal notification use cases. So this could be notifying sales based on a page view. So say, as I said, if someone has viewed the pricing page, you can track that information and know that that's a good time to reach out. If there was a form submission, so maybe they completed a demo form request on the website, or they did some kind of like high intent activity where it's worth sales really getting involved. There's been email activity, so they've been clicking lots of links on emails that the sales rep has been sending. They attended a webinar, so maybe you've put on a webinar, and that could trigger potentially someone to reach out afterwards, or if there is an upcoming kind of purchase reminder. So for kind of more common lead nurturing use cases based on kind of more external factors. So this could be based on life cycle stage, form submission, event attendance, interaction with sales, and page views. So some commonalities between internal and external. But yeah, can we use workflows for a wide variety of use cases. So here's kind of some recommended ones to have in place. So with workflows, you always want to know like what's the trigger for it to be started. So here's some common examples. So the trigger could be someone downloaded, like for HubSpot, we create a lot of webinars, but also a lot of educational sales and marketing content. So the trigger could be they downloaded an educational offer, and the automation be an email or a series of emails with different content, and then the CTA of that, like what's the desired action through this workflow. The trigger might be someone took one action in a series but not the next. So yeah, that automation, if it's more of like a drip campaign, might be sending related content over a series of time. And then the trigger, so say if someone viewed a specific content demonstrating buying signals. So as I said, those kind of high intent pages, such as your pricing page, or if they're looking at comparisons between HubSpot and Salesforce, we know that's maybe a high intent page for us. So that would be the automation, would be an automatic workflow to the sales team. So as I said, the anatomy of workflow is, what's the trigger? What's the enrollment trigger going to be? What are the actions that you want the prospect to take in order to come up with that that end goal? Like, are you trying to get them on the goal might be trying to get them on a sales call, or trying to get them to apply for HubSpot for startups, or in my case, or what are really the goals of that lead nurturing workflow? So just to give you, let's take a sip of water. Just to give you a couple of workflow examples as well. A sec, cancel that. So we'll do the deals one first, and then I'll go into a marketing one. So as I showed you, this is basically a deal view in HubSpot. So you can create different, like multiple deal pipelines, but to really save you time, say for example, I'll go into pipelines. I've just gone into settings and into deals. And then if we go into, so first of all, here you can assign your if your sale, you have a 6 or 7 step sales process. Say if you're in B2B, you can configure the deal stages there, but then you can also automate behind that. So say for us, one way that my team uses this is if we have net new HubSpot for Startups applications. I cover UK and Ireland, whereas then I have teammates all over the world. So someone who covers Nordics, France, and so on. And we want to make sure if a partner is applying within UK and Ireland, it's automatically routed to me. So you can basically do automatic deal rotation kind of within the workflow. So you can basically say rotate record to owner. And then you could say specific users. So say in my case, if it's you could say if it's UK and Ireland, rotate to A Gordon. But you can also do, like, say if you're moving someone from one stage to the next and you want them to fill out a certain form. So say if you're assessing their partner application, or if you want them to take a desired action, once you once you move them throughout the flow, you could basically say if they move from qualified to X, then you could send them a specific form they need to fill out before you move them to the next stage. Or also if it's, you can send task reminders to internal people as well to remind them to follow up on the deal, to say if it hasn't been touched in a certain amount of days. So again, all right, around automating within that sales process to make sure nothing kind of slips through the cracks. If we want to go into workflows more from a external point of view as well. So I did have this one that was like, say if it was pricing, I might have this one. So say, for example, you've created this really great new ebook on generative AI, or say, yeah, again, maybe you're a fintech company, you created a really cool one on 2023 fintech trends. And you want, if you're creating content, always useful to, of course, gate that content so you can really monetize it on those leads. So say you have created this ebook and you have that form to fill out to get their contact information. You could create a workflow based on this. So say I've got if someone fills in the ebook, send them a kickback email. So thank you for downloading our ebook. Delay for a couple of days, then maybe follow up with more, on-brand content on AI or Gen AI if that's the ebook theme. The delays are important for workflows and for sequences, because you don't want to be sending, it's Wednesday now. I don't want to be receiving, an email on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. You want to respace out that content so that you don't get loads of unsubscribes. You can also do, say with workflows, you could also do if then branches, depending on the action that the company takes. So maybe if they clicked a link, in your content, you want to assign that to a contact owner. But if they didn't click that link, then maybe you want to send them more follow-up content. So yeah, really easy to do this within workflows. I'll just show you a few of the, it's not loading, wait. Yeah. Oh. So can delay basically just click the plus button there, and you can decide, yeah, if you want to delay things, enroll in different workflows, do if then branches, send internal and external notifications, etc. So again, the same as I said before, figure out what works for your business. If there's like, don't go creating like, if it's your first workflow, don't go creating like 10 of them and then realizing it doesn't work. Maybe just testing that out with one workflow to start with and making sure that it's beneficial and it's driving results for you and your business. So go back in here. So last but not least, I did want to talk about using AI in your content strategy. We work a lot with the marketing team in HubSpot. I know this has been a very hot topic in HubSpot and in general. I did want to give, I'll give in kind of an overview generally of a few ways you can use it, but just to give you an idea of our other new AI tool that's more for marketers, which is Content Assistant. It's in private beta at the moment, but our Content Assistant uses OpenAI's GPT model to help anyone on your team ideate, create, and share content, again, saving you time. A few ways you'd be able to use our Content Assistant, and I'll show you a few kind of images of this as well. So getting blog ideas. So, generating a list of blog topic ideas, say for fintech startups, not necessarily creating the whole blog for you, but it can create, blog outlines, and you add your own personalization and, brand voice on top of that. So maybe creating an outline for a blog post about XYZ that's important to your business, helping you create copy for landing pages. So generating copy for a landing page on your upcoming webinar, as well as helping you to really automate the creation of marketing emails. So really in light of this, the immense strain the content teams are under to keep up has really been a driving force between the adoption of AI by enterprise. So depending on your KPIs as a team or how big your company is, it takes a lot of time to create content, particularly as a startup where maybe you want to get started with inbound marketing, you want to get all that those good leads, but you just literally don't have time. This can really be great reason to adopt AI as part of your content strategy. So I'm going to give an idea into 4 ways you can use AI in creating content. So first of all, really for content research and blogging. So AI can help you generate ideas for blog posts, marketing copy, product descriptions. Again, particularly helpful for smaller teams with limited resources for content creation. So, and just to give you, just before I go into that kind of GIF, with Content Assistant, you can basically use slashes to within our existing HubSpot tools. So within the blogging tool to help you do this within HubSpot, within the already existing marketing suite of tools. So I'll just say here, it's idea generation, a few different ideas there. And then that's saying generate a blog outline. And then you can kind of create it there. So again, it's that kind of idea generation and outlines rather than creating the whole blog post for you, because Google would penalize that content, as I said. Another way you can use it is image creation. So AI-based image creators have proven really helpful for small teams who again might have no dedicated graphic designer or limited image resources, and maybe don't again have the budget to hire an agency to create all these images, or don't want to get all these stock images or subscriptions, etc. So there are a bunch of different tools for AI images you could test out. So there's Jasper Art, Night Cafe, Photosonic, Photo Art, DALL-E E2. I think that image there is from DALL-E E2. And we do, again, and you can use that within ChatSpot as well. So you can do image creation there. As I said before, with ChatGPT, with ChatSpot, with all this stuff, it really is all about prompts. So slightly different prompts can really create significantly different outcomes for a text to art generator specifically. So sorry, this is a bit blurry, but say in this is an example created by Jasper. So you've got here on the left, give me an impressionist painting of an older man under a blanket sitting next to a fireplace, peaceful, calm. And then give me on the right, it's an impressionist painting of an older man under a blanket sitting next to a fireplace, bright, rich, spirited. So slightly different is just that it's peaceful, calm versus bright, rich, spirited. So all those prompts can really, it really is all about prompts specifically for image generation as well. Another one that can be helpful is for email marketing. So AI can suggest copy for both sales and marketing emails, or suggest edits for existing content. So I already showed you that within ChatSpot, how you can do that within sales. So I think that's just loading there. So that's similar to one that I did earlier. So again, you can copy that into templates and create sequences from that. And then on the marketing side as well, so you can easily generate, oh, that's more of a sales one as well. But you can do that within your email as well. So say with Content Assistant, say that, I'll just let that play there for a second. Oh, paused. I thought that kept going. Oh, there we go. And then you can insert that directly into the email instead of going through the process of inserting it into sequences. And then for marketing emails as well, you can do things like changing tone. So rather than there's idea generation and outline generation, but also if you want to change the tone of something to make it more witty or witty, funny, thoughtful, etc., you can change that as well to really match your brand voice. Last but not least, AI can also help you with social media content creation across various platforms. So helping you generate ideas for copy or for, it can be great for an omni-channel approach as well. Say if you have a campaign and you're trying to, turn an ebook into webinar copy, and you're also trying to turn that into short form social media copy, that can really save you a lot of time. So a few examples of that. Jasper, Smartly, and Amplify. Just to go into, there's loads of possibilities there, probably throwing too much at you, so we will be sending resources afterwards as well. There's so much possibility. A lot of it is in the early days as well. And there is, of course, always going to be some limitations of generative AI as it exists, again, at this point in time. At the moment, one of them is original research. So AI can't conduct original research or really conduct analysis. So it can be more surface level. Fact checking, so there can be biases within AI because it's based on certain contact resources. So you want to be able to fact check things and not completely automate that, that content generation process. AI is basically, they mimic humans. They aren't humans. So they can't provide that lived experience. So really making sure if you are using generative AI to help you create content, then making sure that you're putting your own spin on it and really personalizing that. And then last but not least, ensuring quality. So again, you want to ensure it's not just completely an AI generated text. You want to ensure quality in that so that you can still rank okay with SEO. So before we finish up, and I don't know if we have any questions, but we can pause at the end for questions. As I mentioned, just a little bit to round off on HubSpot and HubSpot for startups. For anyone that joined late. So HubSpot is a all-in-one CRM platform. So for everything, for to really help you optimize each stage of the buyer's journey. So the journey that someone goes on from being a stranger, knowing nothing about your product or service, to becoming a prospect, a customer, and then a promoter or evangelist of your product or service. So we do have, that all-in-one CRM for managing all your contacts and company records. And then we have 5 separate hubs: marketing, sales, CMS, ops, and service. So you can use as well the free version of HubSpot, has lots of the free CRM tools, marketing, sales tools, etc. So if you do want to start with that and get your contact records, everything in one place, and then try out things like ChatSpot, then you can do that. Start doing that today. So as I said, I went over this at the start, but again, for anyone who might have joined late, this education session is presented to you by HubSpot for Startups. I'm Anna, I manage the program for UK and Ireland. We offer educational resources and tailored training, an integrated platform for entrepreneurs, and then professional software and entrepreneur pricing. So you can get access for 30 to 90% off HubSpot, particularly with CodeBase. As Norette mentioned in the chat, we do have an offer live for May, where the online community can get 50% off. So you can learn more and apply here or through that May offer link that Norette has kindly linked there. So thank you. I'll just pause now for any questions. I'll just minimize the screen here. So I think, there's one question here. What would you recommend is the first thing people do to improve efficiency? I'm biased here, but if you don't already have a CRM, that can really help you for just tracking all that information in one place. And then other than that, it really does depend on the stage of your business. If you're in the early stages, I said, adopting that CRM, and then I think getting started with things like marketing automation. So just creating your first 2 workflows can really help to increase that overall efficiency. So CRM, and then starting with workflows as well. But if you don't have a CRM, it can really inhibit that growth as you scale. And yes, thank you, Norette, for linking that other webinar as well.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. I've signed up for it myself.
Oh, good.
Nice. It was like, I must mention to other people that it's happening too.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, I think we can probably finish up. Thanks again to Anna for taking the time to speak to us about automation. It was really interesting. We'll be doing a follow-up email, so that'll have some of the links to the resources that Anna talked about in the presentation. We'll also have the link to the a feedback form, which I'm just going to link in the chat here as well, but it'll be in the email. And as I say, the recording will be available too shortly, probably in a few days. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining, and thanks again to Anna.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye.